Ну, сейчас для меня, я считаю, что лучший тяж сейчас в MMA это Ciryl Gane.
This is the best heavyweight striker in UFC history. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best heavyweight striker to ever grace the octagon. On January 22nd, I am making the prediction that he will be the undisputed king of the world. In the world of combat sports, the person who captures the heavyweight championship in MMA gets to claim that they're the baddest man on the planet. This super talent is poised to exactly that. Fight fans, welcome back to another episode of Striking Breakdowns. In this episode, we will feature the epic striking of Ciryl Gane, the prodigious striker who is about to take the UFC throne and become the undisputed king of MMA. Ciryl Gane is perhaps the most talented heavyweight in combat sports history. Fight fans around the world are starting to know who Ciryl Gane is due to his phenomenal run in the UFC. However, the striking world knew him years ago for his spectacular rise in the Muay Thai circuit. Starting Muay Thai at the late age of 25, he was able to defeat the world #1 ranked heavyweight Muay Thai fighter, Yassine Boghanem, within 3 years of training. Don't let Yassine's belly fool you, this is a spectacular feat. Yassine is a fighter with 140 wins, and his only defeat in 6 years is from Ciryl Gane. After going 13-0 in pro Muay Thai, Ciryl decided to pursue MMA. Since then, he has dominated his entire way through. Combining his Muay Thai record and MMA record, Ciryl is now 23-0 with a finishing rate in both sports at 70%. Stylistically, he is the most unique heavyweight to date. Not only is Ciryl a stellar technician with high fight IQ, he has finish power in all limbs, even in his jabs. Never has there been a heavyweight with such active footwork and active defense in MMA. More importantly, these two traits don't usually come with speed and power. He can snipe people from the outside and go untouched. He can stand in the pocket and trade with his opponents when he smells a finish. Stylistically, he's a blend of Israel Adesanya and Saenchai. He can hit from both stances like Adesanya, who also has finishing power on every strike. Being able to switch from orthodox to southpaw constantly makes it difficult for his opponents to get a read on him. But what makes Ciryl different than so many fighters who are middleweight and above is that he can bounce like a lightweight. For example, Saenchai is able to bounce in order to keep his footwork extremely active. This allows him to circle around his opponents and always be a step ahead. The fighter who can bounce effectively has the advantage of dictating each engagement. Inside the clinch, he has a lot of what you'd expect from an elite Muay Thai fighter. Ciryl can hit sweeps often, and he can land great knees and elbows. This is something that has never been shown in the UFC at this level. Since transitioning to MMA, Ciryl has adopted a hands-down style that relies on his eyes. While I favour Ciryl to win against Francis, there are a few openings for Francis to capitalise. Stylistically, Francis has less of a gas tank than Ciryl, but he is an extremely hard hitter and becoming an intelligent striker as well. Francis has dangerous left kicks from southpaw and low kicks. For punches, Francis has dangerous check left hooks, big right hand set up from the jab, and shifting left straights. Overall, I don't think these tactics will provide much of a problem for Ciryl, but he needs to be especially careful about the overhands. Ciryl has a habit of keeping his lead hand loose, which is not usually a problem due to his superb vision and footwork. But sometimes he overthrows his power strikes and leaves himself susceptible to be countered right after. If I was coaching against Ciryl, this is the exact thing I'll be watching out for. I would wait for Ciryl to come in with a power strike and try to let him miss, and then counter back against his loose guard. Yassine and some of Cyryl's other opponents were able to do this multiple times. In the fight with Yassine, his opponent was able to land the overhand clean at least 6 times. However, this is much easier said than done, because Ciryl has superb offensive timing and a particularly sharp jab that controls the distance. Not even Junior Dos Santos, the great UFC heavyweight with a legendary overhand, could time Ciryl despite a few close calls. With his footwork distance management combined with his sharp jab and kicks, Ciryl can manage the power of Francis. If Ciryl has to, he can train Francis in the clinch and use his footwork to dance around him. Overall, I think Ciryl will come out in southpaw, sniping Francis from the outside with his power right jab and score often with his sharp left kick. If he senses he can go for the kill, he will switch back to orthodox and finish the job. Going to Southpaw will negate a lot of Francis's best tactics, but as always, anything can happen in a high-level fight. We are so excited to witness history with you on January 22nd. What are your thoughts on Ciryl Gane versus Francis Ngannou? If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to watch another episode of Striking Breakdowns. I'm Lawrence Kenshin, and thank you for keeping our channel alive.